Okay, welcome to the next update of the coronavirus. Today I'm going to talk about the lockdown. Is it worth it? Is it effective? Is it necessary? Last week I had so many phone calls and messages from people in the US that were asking me, Heather, we're hearing that it's overrated, it's super hyped, people are making it a much bigger deal than it really is and not taking it very seriously. So I'm going to talk today about, is it effective and is it worth it? The other thing I'm going to talk about is in regards to a comment that I had on my last video that I released just 2 days ago. It's been on my mind since I read it, and it's something that I think is going to touch your heart and your mind as well. So, andiamo. All right, welcome back. So 2 days ago when I released my last video, I had a very positive response. Thank you for all the feedback. I was happy to hear so many people say, wow, that was a great idea. That really helped me out. I didn't think of that. And a lot of you said, we got a lot of chocolate, so good job. But if you like the tips and they're helpful, please hit subscribe down below and hit the bell. That'll make sure you see all my updates each time that I send them to you. And I'm not the media, I'm not the news, I'm telling you my own personal experiences that I have experienced here in Italy as you're having them happen to you in the US. Okay, so right now you're kind of still in that shock phase and your world is disrupted. Schools are canceled, meetings are canceled, your work is disrupted. What is going on in this world? And you're seeing around you so many things are changing. Wedding plans are changed. Trip plans are changed, huge events, projects, and so many things that you had going on in your world have been disrupted. So you're still kind of in that shock phase and maybe even disbelief or doubt. And you're still kind of just thinking, oh my gosh, okay, so our world's messed up right now. And is it even worth it? I don't even know somebody in my whole area that's affected by it. I don't even know a single case. These are some things that went through my mind. And I even felt to myself, I would rather get the virus at this point than to deal with this. Seeing businesses, small businesses that are being damaged and just so much going on that it's like, oh my gosh, is this even worth it? That's exactly what I was thinking. If you go back to my first coronavirus update videos, you'll see me going through the emotional challenges and frustrations that you're going through right now. So the question today is all of this worth it? Is it effective to do a lockdown like they're doing? And the answer is absolutely yes. And if you go to my Facebook page, Heather Evertson Italian Travels, you'll see an article that I posted today. It's about flattening the curve. It's a very interesting illustration to explain to you the theory behind the lockdown and how it is effective. I'm really glad that they're taking a lot more precautions in the US now and around the world. I really wish they would have done it a lot sooner in Italy. So last night I was texting with my friend Robin, who's in San Francisco, and she was telling me how, okay, we're starting to lock down, everything's shutting down. And she sent me a picture of a sign that was put up at her grocery store, and I was thrilled to see it because I wish they would have been a lot more thorough here with the things that they said. So number one is said our new hours are from 9 to 8 and the first 2 hours of operation are only for people the age 60 and older. Wonderful. That is so nice. That is so great because they're the ones we need to be taking care of. The second thing was they said they're doing touch-free transactions, so no cash handling and only with the tapless pay and the other things you guys do in the US now, like Google Pay or something like that. That's great because holy cow, in Italy we use so much cash, mostly cash, and that is the fastest way to pass virus and germs. Okay, so they're really thinking, and also that store was saying that they were doing thermal checks to everybody walking in this store. And if you looked at the research, you know that's not 100% way to keep the virus out, but it helps. And so I told Robin, I said, you go back to that store and you tell them thank you. That is very nice. I really wish they would have taken these more serious precautions and that we all would have taken this a lot more serious a lot sooner. Would have made a big difference. So overall in Italy, I wish we all would have taken it a lot more serious a lot sooner. I'm grateful that we went and got all of our groceries and everything we needed long before anybody else was starting to do that, so we didn't have to deal with a lot of that craziness. But in January, there were many flights coming in to Italy from China, and we had 0 cases. So we kind of went to the back of our minds. We weren't worried about it because there was nothing in Italy. But all they were doing at that time were thermal scans and checking people's temperatures. And those people were in quarantine, but everyone else went in. I wish they would have quarantined everyone coming in at that point, but they weren't. Now, I'm not criticizing anyone because everybody's doing their best with the information they have. But what my point is thank your lucky stars over there in the U.S. that they're really taking it serious, and don't resist because it's for good reasons. You can also see another article that I posted yesterday on Heather Evertson Italian Travels that's telling you firsthand from doctors here in Italy and mostly in Milan in the northern areas what they're going through and what kind of decisions they have to make, and what morticians are going through and how they're handling things. They're saying that March 18th is the day that in Florence that they expect to start seeing the more cases arise from the time of exposure. We've been on lockdown for 9 days. Today's the 17th. And today is the very first case that I have heard personally that is right in our area. There's a woman in our neighborhood who got sick, and now her whole family is sick. I don't know the details of how severe or anything like that, but that is the first case that I have heard of in our area. And we are on the 9th day of lockdown. It's been 3 weeks of craziness for us, and now we're just starting to hear of the first cases even in our area. So I hope that gives you a little perspective. So the second thing that I was going to talk about today is in regards to the video that I released 2 days ago, that I received a comment on that video, and it's something that I have been thinking about since I read the comment. I'm going to read it to you in a minute. But this first came about a few days ago. My sister told me she was in Utah and she was shopping and trying to get her food. And she noticed these cute little ladies over to the side that were trying to get their toilet paper. And they came to her and said, "Can you help us find, do you know where other toilet paper is?" And my sister told her, "I'm sorry, it's gone." And then as she was leaving the store, she noticed those same 2 cute little ladies over by the freezer section, just kind of leaning against the cabinet, just very discombobulated and discouraged. And as she left the store later on, she just kept thinking, why didn't I turn around? Why didn't I go back and say, "Where do you live? Let me help you get your stuff and let me bring it to you"? And it's been on her mind since this experience happened. And because she shared it with me, I shared it on the video. And also for me, I started thinking, who do I know? And I reached out to someone who had a very special experience with someone who I care about, who was so thrilled that I reached out to him. And he's close to 90, all alone, no family. Everyone is gone before him. And this is what it says. "Let me give you a reality check. I wish there were people assisting the elderly who actually cared. In normal times, no one cared. I doubt they will now. I live in a building full of the elderly and disabled, and all of us are in a mess because of what people have done by stockpiling and being greedy. So we'll be the first that die as usual because no one cares about what happens to us. These are all things we've all thought about, especially the elderly, because many of them have already seen times like these in their lives. This should be fun. Thank God for his angels. At least they're dependable." So my thoughts today are that most of us in today's world, among the living, we haven't experienced a lot of those difficult times like they have. We didn't live through the Great Depression. We didn't live in a war camp. Most of us don't remember the outbreak of the polio. But that older generation, they have rich experiences. So look around you and find those precious people that have those stories to tell. Find out how you can help them, and then listen. Call them with your children and listen and record the things that they have to share. So I want to finish up by giving a great shout out to my sponsor who has made this video possible. That is Darren Nord, who is the Executive Officer for Advanced Care, Home, Medical, and Oxygen. And thank you, Darren, for all that you do for so many other people. He is out in many ways. So good job for all that you do in Utah. So for now, hit the bell and the subscribe button so that you will see all my future videos. I'm only sharing things as they're happening for you there because there's a lot more to share and a lot more coming up. I'm just telling you about things as I know you're experiencing them because you're not ready to hear all of it now. So for now, good luck with all your lockdown and ci vediamo presto.